Good evenings to you, sir. Why am I taking so long to see you over there? Why am I lagging? There we go. There we go. All right. Mr. O'Healy. Is that how I say your
Yes,
surname?
sir. That is correct, sir.
My word. I'm getting good at these things, eh? I'm getting absolutely good at this thing. You should have said Iggy. You just smashed my surname, man. I
You
thought you're going to be
definitely
saying
did
Iggy just
indeed.
because you smashed my surname. You know what? I'll send you a lion. I mean, how many people are getting your surname incorrect? It's not even funny.
Uh, a lot of people.
But we
Sneaky
gotta love.
Brandon.
We gotta love. We gotta love that. We gotta
Audio.
love that. Ah, sneaky Brandon indeed. Yeah, like we say, we got another jam-packed show. Hitting 8 o'clock. You excited? I think you've got a bit of an idea of here and there what we'll be talking about. But they say the public needs to know what we want to talk about. So what I will do is I will not talk about this. Any thoughts around this? What does it look like to you? What does it look like to the people in the comment section? Welcome everyone that just joined the podcast. Anyone? Any
They,
guesses?
they, they look
Any
like
guesses?
potential hooligans.
Look at you, man. Being a smarty ass over here, eh? So let's hear what is the story we have about the Willigans. We'll give you guys an opportunity to hop in. We obviously drunk English fans, absolutely. We will cover like one or two topics. We'll get you guys. Good evening, Uncle C. A massive shout out to Uncle C, guys. An absolutely amazing supporter. It is the morning hours, but this guy, like, he said, you know what? I am from South Africa, might be New Zealand, but I am here to show love and support. I love that, man. So let's hear what we got to say about the hooligans.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Iggy, Brandon, Robin, Warren, whoever's standing in for Robin. I hope everybody's doing well. Just want to quickly raise the topic about Unruly fans. I want to ask the question, guys, is it permissible for fans, the English fans especially, to degrade players and to break their morale totally down? I think the English league for me has become very unruly. I just want to hear what is your view on that, because I've watched a few Italian games, Spanish league games. Uh, the mocking doesn't go to the level as English, and I find it appalling. What's your view?
Okay. Any thoughts?
Uh, I'd say it's more online fans, to be honest, than fans that actually go and watch games. Of course, players still get abuse. I assume he means when people abuse their own players, or does he mean just in general? Their own
Yeah, in
players.
general, players that gets abused, by their own fan base. For me, I would say, you know what? Enter even your rival fans. Example, if United play Liverpool, United having a go at Liverpool players. You poor, wow, wow, get into his head. But as long as they keep it respectful, that for me, it's
Oh, okay.
fine.
I was thinking like your own fan base targeting your own players. So you just mean in general, even
In
away
general,
fans or
yeah,
whatever
like they
tuning.
get the abuse,
Yeah, look,
even their own.
it does get rough. Like I can't imagine being a player. Like when they go for the throw-ins or the corners or and you right there by those fans and the things that they must be saying. I don't know how players manage to keep their composure. So kudos to them for that because I can't. Like, can you imagine yourself in that situation where somebody's saying something about your wife or whatever they could be saying? Because your whole life is public, so they know things. So
Mm,
they'll be saying a whole bunch of things, not just
mm,
about you, but about your family or yeah.
100%. Mr. Oidini, just to give you clarity on why we're having this conversation, you will see as the show go along, we will definitely get you guys an opportunity to hop into the box as well. So you are also more than welcome, Mr. Oidini, to give me any opinion or anything that you saw or about the beautiful game that you would like to get a view from the rest of the people in the comment section, from us on the panel. And people look at us and they're like, you know what, but you guys haven't played this game on the highest of levels, but we all understand the game. So that's basically what it is about. If you can't stay for the full show, or maybe you miss out maybe on an opportunity, then basically we're going to give you guys an opportunity to hop in. I will tell you guys, okay, let's hop into the box. You guys can request and you can give your opinion about this. So just to touch on what Adil was asking, what's my view and you guys' view? I'm going to open up you guys an opportunity now. But I would say, for me personally, if we look at the English fans, it happens across all leagues. I'm going to take the example where they faced Italy in that final of the Euros. Italy won them in that final. That penalty missed from Saka, and I don't know who else it was. But then their own fans turned on them, same nationality, but just a different color.
Mm.
And my question is, if you were bashing these guys so much racially, why did you not do it from the very first kickoff when your team were facing any other team? That actually gave you that first stepping stone to go through to the next round. So why now in the final, this pressure, those kind of things, I understand it's not easy standing there in the final in front of thousands and thousands watching across the world, millions, and all those thousands in the stadium. It's a massive, massive thing. But if these players deliver them the glory, then they forget about his black. They forget about insulting his wife, bashing his family. And Henry Winter had an interview as well. I don't want to go back to the Rashford thing, but Henry Winter had an interview where he says that Rashford was mentally fucked. Sorry for the language, but he was mentally fucked because of the threats he's basically received on social media. Anyway, let's hear what the people in the comment section want to add onto this topic. Let's see who we've got in the firing line. Let's see who we got in the firing line. We got Adil and we got Robin coming in as well. Sorry, Robin, I didn't see that. I think Mitch also wanted to come in. Mitch, you can also request, sir. You're more than welcome to come in quickly.
Evening, guys. Evening,
I'm
guys. I'm leaving my camera
audio.
off. I just got out of the shower now. I mean, that is a key
Okay, so you are here.
is
You're not
frozen.
working
Can't have
tonight.
the.
Okay, 100%. Okay, that's fine. So you're going to be co-hosting. Perfect. Welcome,
There
Robin.
he
Welcome,
is.
Adil.
There's the man, the myth, the legend.
I'm just in the shop.
Sneaky Brandon, good evening. Iggy,
Good
Good
Robin.
evening.
evening.
Okay. Audio. So
No,
audio, my two
I,
quickly on that. Iggy and Brandon.
Just hold on, Robin. Let
Look.
us just give Adil an opportunity quickly, Robin. Just hold on.
Okay.
Go for it,
the
Adil.
re, you know what the reason why I actually want to raise this topic, man, because banter is banter, like Brendan also pointed out there. But it's also the online presence. I have seen stuff that is like really terrible.
That's bad,
Look
yeah.
at that. Also the one where the one I think it was a United guy when he took Canacho in the. Remember when Canacho was in the? He was
Yeah,
walking towards the field. They were getting ready for the game,
yeah.
and that guy was uncalled for. But that was a United fan.
Mm,
That was for me. That, like Brendan said, I'm more worried about the social media and there's no censorship and people are just saying what they want to without backup, without any proof.
mm,
They're just calling players out, and I think it's a bit unfair, man.
mm.
There's just no control,
I
especially in the
agree.
online presence. That's all I wanted to add, guys.
No
I'll pop
problem.
it back later.
No
Thanks.
problem, Adil. Thanks for popping in, Adil. Appreciate you. Robin, you want to give your view quickly? Then we'll give G-Force an opportunity.
Yeah, look, I think it comes down to more of the history. I understand that sometimes the guys that it becomes racial, but because of the history of the football and of the competitor between two clubs, example like if you have a United Leeds game, there's history. A Liverpool Everton game. So these guys they come through a culture history where, like Brandon said earlier, the hooligans. It's basically across Europe that way where the fans are that way. It's how they were brought up, the culture they were surrounded in. Because and it's not trying to make it a money thing or whatever, but if you compare it of who was the people that plays football and their backgrounds to compare to the people that actually plays rugby and cricket, you know. So I think there's a what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Uh, Brandon, come help me with your English here, man.
Yeah,
I
Say
won't
in
say,
Afrikaans, man.
I
Before your
won't
minute
say
runs out.
culture, but there's a money division, man. You know where your rugby and your color and your cricket go to more elite schools. They are the more upper class, whereas your footballers were more the lower class, the working class. So I think that also plays a role in the way that they look at the game and how they're passionate about the game. That's my take. But sometimes it
Okay.
does cross the line of becoming racism.
Okay. Cool. Chiefos, the floor is yours, sir. Welcome.
Good evening, gentlemen. Gaan het met julle?
Kan ik
Evening,
aan
brother.
jezelf, mijn vriend?
Gaan maar aan. So, on my view on the supporters, let me first go to English supporters has always been barbaric since football began. I mean, not to point on the Liverpool supporters, but that's where you got your name Scousers from, scums, basically. It was not in an interview, can I say, not even a podcast, but it was written that the Liverpool supporters were the scums of the supporters. That's where the name Scousers comes from. But the English supporters were always barbaric. And when it comes to social media, the thing is this: people realize that people want recognition, man.
Mm.
So the easiest way for people to get recognition is to be, how can I say,
To literally
abusive,
break
to
down,
put it that way, because they know they're gonna get
yeah,
attention.
100% to break down someone, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so whether it's positive, with you need hardly ever gonna get positive attention. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna be negative to
Mm,
get the attention. They're gonna get
mm,
then and they get it right all the time. That's the
mm,
problem. They get it right all the time.
mm,
Whenever they have stupid comments or anything to say, it blows up. And
mm,
what they get some sort of fame. Even though it's
100%.
negative fame, they feel it, they appreciate it.
100%.
So I think that is probably the issue with the social media at the moment is negativity blows up faster than positivity.
100%, 100%. And I couldn't agree more. I'm just gonna end it off on what Mitch was saying in the comment section because it's like kind of like sitting in my eye the whole time. Where he's saying that players, I mean fans want players to forgive them, alright? But they are abusing these players out there. And if you think about it, if these players out there don't even want to give them, like, you know what, that few seconds taking a photo with him, because then they're like, this player keeps him, you know what, that he's above everyone else. But these players get these kind of treats, so you don't blame them if they want to move away from the crowd, you know. So those are all kind of things. Hi, Bron. Welcome.
Can I
So,
add something there, Iggy?
yeah, sure.
Just two
Thank
two
you,
quick
G-Force.
stories. So
I'll give you another opportunity. Yeah, go
firstly
for it.
a social media story. I made a video about Man City like a year ago or something,
Mm,
and this Man City fan messaged me, and he was so like he was so specific. He was like, I hope that you die in a car accident. I hope that your wife is with you in the car. And he was
wow.
so specific about how he wants me to die.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. So if that's me, can you imagine what players have to go
Yeah.
through who have millions of followers? So that's that story. Another story, a real life story, is when I went to go watch that game in Europe, like my first proper game, Young
Yeah,
Boys
I
versus FC
remember.
Zurich.
Young boys, yeah.
I sat next to the away fans, and they were like in a cage basically, and like there was a guy like who climbs on top of the cage and he's got a megaphone and he's the one who like leads all of the chants, and I wanted to film them so like I just wanted to have my camera on them, film them because it was absolutely unreal. But the guy who
Mm,
organized us the tickets, he is someone who's normally in there with them, but he sat with us, and he was like, you're not allowed to film them. Those people don't like to be filmed,
mm,
um, or else they'll pretty much want to fight you. So
yeah. And that's probably
it's next level
for
over
the
there.
reasons of not them being exposed and those kind of things, you know. But yeah, you
100%,
know,
100%.
yeah, 100%, you know. Anyway, thank you so far for everyone that's been tapping the screen, that's been interacting. Good evening, Gary from the UK, my other friend. It's been a very, very long time since I had you here, sir. You'll have an opportunity as well, sir. We just spoke about one of your favorite topics. You missed out on that one, which is Eric fans in the UK. But we're gonna move over to some other topic because we wanna keep the show going. So let's speak about this over here. We got a thought that came through.
Why did they? Yeah,
Anyway, let's
you're just
take a
gonna you're just
guys.
gonna get Vinny pumped up.
Proper banter that blew up in your face. Proper banter, but it blew up in your face. It would be nice if they won, but unfortunately they didn't.
100%. Let's hear some thoughts on this one. And this guy always brings the fire. He always brings the spice. He needs no introduction. Let's hear what he has to say.
What is up, guys? I hope you're doing well. I want to talk about Manchester City today. They got knocked out of the Champions League this week, and now they're only in the FA Cup and in the Premier League top four hopefuls. Um, they've been wobbly this season, and can they build themselves as the best team in the world? We know their achievements. They've won back to back Premier Leagues. They've been on the treble. They were at the beginning of the season billed to be the favourites to go and win it for the fifth time, the Premier League that is. But now they're only in two competitions. They might not even make top four to get into next season's Champions League. They lost Rodri, and when they lost Rodri at the beginning of the season, the entire campaign crumbled. It's like the walls came tumbling down, Humpty Dumpty fell down, and all the eggshells was on the floor. And Pep is struggling to pick them up without bleeding his fingers. It's like my Superman sucks. Like really, it's like I bought a Superman from Timo, and I got like a hero in a fat suit who can't do anything. What is your guys' thoughts on City's campaign this season, and can they be billed as the best team when one player leaving their team causes them to crumble? Give me your thoughts.
Okay, he said, give
And
me your
and
thoughts. He said, give me your
Warren's
thoughts.
saying all of this, but I know for a fact, having said all of that, he's super stressed for Sunday, and so
I
am
could
I.
not agree with you more. And he said, guys, in the comment section for us as well, he said, give us the thoughts on the city, not on the superhero he bought from Timo. I just got to put that out there because Robin looks is ready to give his feedback on the superhero. Anyway, Brandon, Robin, any thoughts on that?
I
On the
prefer Marvel
city?
over DC.
Okay, that's fair.
So that is my side. So they already made a bugger up there, so I'm not going too much detail with that.
Okay,
Lucas City is having a bad season, but I think being kicked out of the Champions League might actually be a blessing for them. And
okay.
and I'm gonna tell you why I say so. They don't have the strongest squad at the moment to compete on all fronts. So now they're basically focusing on the league and maybe the FA Cup if they want to win that.
Mm,
Now, if you
okay.
take them and compare them to Liverpool, Liverpool got a strong, say, 15 squad team. They have a strong 15 team, 11, with maybe 4 quality substitutions, reserves. But after that, the depth there is not so. Now, Liverpool is fighting on 3 fronts. They have the Carabao final, the league, and the Champions League. Do they have the squad to go all the way? We saw the last 3 games where they starting to, I won't say lose some energy, but they're not finishing off games the way they were a few months ago. And I think it might just be a blessing for City now, going that they know they can only focus on the league and the FA Cup now. That's
Okay.
my take on that. I think they'll bounce back. I don't think they'll win the league, but I do think they'll put a good run in for it, especially if Liverpool also start dropping some points along the way.
Okay, that's fair. Brandon?
Yeah, look, I think it's a really important game on Sunday for both teams, for City and their top four hopes and our titles hopes, and I think it's a must-win for both. If we had beaten Villa, I think a draw would have been fine on Sunday, but now that we drew against Villa, I think it's a must-win now. It's going to be difficult. And in terms of that there, the stop crying your heart out, I, I don't know why they did that. I really don't know why they did that. I understand banter,
Mm,
but it really did blow up in their
mm,
face big
yeah,
time. And look, and Pep is always, you think of Busquets,
yeah,
you think of Fernandinho, and now Rodri. Like he's always had a solid CDM that he needs
yeah.
in his team, and now that that's gone, they look a lot more exposed. And the one Champions League final that I think is Pep only lost one Champions League final, I think.
I'm not too sure. I don't have that. I don't have that stat with me.
And
But
that was the
anyway,
one game where he left out Rodri against Chelsea, and
mm,
they played a Champions League final without a CDM, and they
mm,
lost.
100%. Anyway, anyone from the comments want to jump in? Before I give my view, then I'll end it off with my view. Anyone else want to give their view? You want to hop in? Bron, you're more than welcome to hop in. I see you new. Gary, you're welcome to hop in. Anyone else want to hop in? Okay, in the meantime, while I'm waiting for someone to hop in, Brandon, you can accept them, or Robin, I think you guys got all access. So look, I think that City have got the players. They've got some new additions in. What's his name? Mamouche. He's been showing good potential. And I think that these Liverpool players hasn't faced him and many other teams in the league. So I think it is going to be a little bit of a bounce back, like you rightfully pointed out. And like Robin said, it's a blessing for them being out of that competition because they already got from the key players out to be in those competitions. It would have been nice, obviously, for them as a club, which they want to win everything, because I'm sure every club wants to win everything. But also with what they've got available. And Casa, big City supporter as well, has always been talking about this in lives and that way. He says that he don't think with the squad they've got, they should be in a lot of other competitions instead of just focusing on the goal at hand, which is basically top four. So I understand, yeah. So it is going to be, but I think that they are capable of building that squad because he's proven the type of players he's bringing in and the youngsters is basically coming through as well. So yeah, so I see no one wants to hop in. I think we've got another topic to cover. I'm not sure if there's any of these fan base over here, but let's talk about this guy. Doesn't look like someone want to talk about this guy. Maybe guys want to talk
I
about
just
this guy. Anyone want to talk about these two guys in the comments? Okay, see that no one wants to talk about this guy, Brandon. Let's hear what this guy had to say about these two guys.
At the pub, I was asking all of my guys a question. I asked it to James, I asked it to Lee Judges, Troops was there as well. I asked it to Troops. I said, would you swap Gabriel Martinelli plus money to get the signing of Kylian Mbappe? And you know what? They all said no. They all said no. That is how high esteem the fans hold Gabriel Martinelli in, that they all said no. They would rather keep Martinelli at the club.
Okay. Comments? Thoughts? You guys want to hop in? I'm sure I can get a couple of people to hop in
oh
and give
god,
their view on this one. Let's see who wants to hop in, guys. Let's come hopping into the 1 minute of countdown. Let's
it's ridiculous.
let's
Stuff
see.
like that, they don't want us to win the league. Man. Yes, yes. They're not a very likable bunch. They're not a very,
Look at
you know,
this,
you
man.
want to root for them.
Look
You
at
want to
this.
root for them, but then they give you stuff like this.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is to my two co-hosts, I think we are not gonna give any view on this because
But then
I
they
don't
give
want us to sound
you stuff
biased.
like
So
this.
let's give it to the floor. Let's start
Yeah. If
off
you've seen my
with
video, you know my thoughts already. So
yeah.
I'll
So
let you.
I think we're gonna stay out of this one, gentlemen. Warren, the floor is yours, sir. And then I'll give Mitch the floor, and then Adil and G-Force can fight who wants to take the mic next.
Okay. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
Always good, sir.
Good brother.
Okay, so a quick one on this thing. That's a silly statement from whoever. I don't even know what his name is. He's stupid.
Robbie.
Sorry.
Rob,
but
Adil.
um, but the my thought is, how can you say that Martinelli is better than Mbappe? That's a silly statement. Martinelli's stock has dropped so much in the last 2 seasons. I mean, he's not even playing anymore. Like, he's injured more than he's playing. Mbappe just showed on in the week what type of player he is. Doesn't even have to have so many chances to show the quality that he has. He has the latest World Cup to show also what a
Mm,
prime player that he is. There's no comparison. Like, I mean, this fool can sit down.
okay. All right. That's your view. All right, cool. Let's see if there's any other views from anyone else. We're gonna go to Mitch. Mitch, what's your view on the video of Mr. Rob? Warren, thanks for hopping in, sir.
Goeie daad, manne.
Goeie
Ons
naansie,
hoef nie
meester.
nog oor Mbappe te praat. Mbappe het klaar bewys by PSG wat kan hy doen. En by Madrid. Die oomiekie wat hier met sy bleskop sit. Ek verstaan die Arsenal manne glo in hulle players. Is reg. Maar jy kan nie daai mannetjie Martinelli met Mbappe compare. Dis dieselfde soos die ou wat in die video gesê het van Gravenberch is beter as Zidane. Jy weet nie waarvan hy praat nie. Verstaan jy? So sommige die oomiekie en hy ander mannetjie, hulle is altyd delusional man. Dis maar my view.
100%. Mits, dankie vir jou view, meneer. Ek waardeer jou.
Away.
Mr. Adil G-Force, who wants to fight? The mic is yours, bro.
Um,
I don't know if you guys saw
no,
that guy on TikTok where he does that. The mic for you, bro. The mic for you, bro. I don't know if you've seen that guy. You guys go
Brendan,
and check that guy out. That guy is super funny.
Iggy, I'll just be the good guy here. Brendan, you want me to translate what Mitch said now quickly?
You know what? The thing I love about Afrikaans is even if I understand half of it, flap, you guys make me laugh, man. There's just something about it.
So again, you know what? This is a hardcore Arsenal podcast responder. I always see he's come across my For You page. But this shows you the level of delusion that Arsenal people are living in. It's totally delusional. Who the hell, if you ask that question to a United, to a City, or to a Liverpool supporter, the question was in a heartbeat, but it depends which player they're talking about. But those specific player that he mentioned, from Mbappe, how can you still, as again, put them in the same discussion? I mean, come on. That shows you the level of ignorance. Sorry to say this, but Arsenal supporters is in the other planet. They are in another world. I don't know. Social media should be restricted for shit like this.
Okay, 100%. Adil, I
Thanks,
think
guys.
I'm just gonna touch on that. While you're hopping out, I think what Adil is saying, has got valid points in everyone else, but I think it should be that someone with football sense, if you ask someone with football sense, it should not even be about a rival fan. Even Arsenal fans with football sense would actually tell you, you know, what is the proper thoughts around that statement. Anyway, else we got G-Force over here, and then we got two other guests. I can't see who it is, but anyway, they will introduce themselves. G-Force, floor is yours, sir.
Iggy, this is an absolutely delusional statement that these guys are making to compare a Ballon d'Or nominee, constant Ballon d'Or nominee, to someone that's not even made the top 100. I don't even think he made the top 100. I mean, Arsenal supporters are there out comparing Bukayo Saka and Mohamed Salah, comparing Bukayo Saka to Cristiano Ronaldo. These ones will compare Raya to Peter Schmeichels. These guys are just on another level delusional. There is no comparison to Mbappe. There is not a player on this. Okay, there is maybe a few, maybe top. There's five, but there's no one else that can compare to Kylian Mbappe, finishing, ball control. This guy is just on another level. It's way better than Martinelli will ever be.
Okay, that's fair.
Simple,
G-Force.
simple as that.
Thank you so much, G-Force. I can't see the two gentlemen that's in here. It could
It's
even be
Cape
too late.
Scouser and Brown.
Oh, okay, don't know. Anyway, Cape Council, Bron, who wants to give it a go first? You guys want to listen to the video again before you give your thoughts, or if you got the information about the video?
Cape, you can go first if you want to. Is he there?
Okay. I'm here. Good evening,
Okay.
good evening, everybody.
Evening, sir.
What's up, bro?
Look, it's very plain, it's very simple. It's when you don't have football knowledge, stay off the mic because you're gonna make a fool of yourself. To even have a to even ask the question of Martinelli, oh, who would you pick between Martinelli and Mbappe is an insult to football intelligence. Because we all watch the game, and this is from a fan base that has witnessed a player like Thierry Henry. And if you watch Mbappe, there's a lot of his game that emulates a young Thierry Henry. You don't hear people talking about Martinelli like that, and this is their club idol. So, like, it's completely delusional. And G4's hit on something. It just tells you something about an Arsenal fan base. They are comparing their players, Bukayo Saka, with Mohamed Salah, for example, right? They are saying Declan Rice is worth that price tag they paid for, having brought nothing to that club. They are saying that Saliba is in a class of a Virgil van Dijk. David Raya is the best goalkeeper in the league. The Lulu. Last
Okay,
season they said the same thing that they were the best. The year before that they were the best. They have
that's fair.
never conquered Europe. So
That's fair.
I don't understand the comparison, but like I said, AFTV is the toxicity and just an example. Like Peacock said, go watch AFTV, whether you watch one or two episodes, and you will see why nobody likes Arsenal supporters.
100%. You know what, Scouser, I'm going to just touch on before I give Bron that opportunity. Now, if we all just listen to what Scouser and many people have said about AFTV, now that is actually the sad part. Because of AFTV, right? The whole of the Arsenal fan base get labeled like that. The same thing with United, Liverpool, whether we want to admit it or not, we're going to get that fan base. But because AFTV is so big, everyone get labeled under that. That's the unfortunate part and the sad part about it. But we get our Liverpool content creators, United content creators, that's also making these kind of statements out there. That's just, the sad part that they are that big that they label the others that's not as delulu as they are. So that is just what is it? Benefits of being an Arsenal fan. Scouser, thank you for your views, sir. Please stay in the comment section. We got more topics to cover. Hopefully you want to come in again. Ron, welcome, sir. First time having you here, sir. Welcome.
Can you guys
Ron.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now crystal clear, so welcome.
Okay, I can hear you guys. Okay, sorry, man. I'm having Wi-Fi problems. That's why I
No
didn't want to
stress.
come on.
No stress.
I It was so funny because I was on the Arsenal. I was on the Arsenal group before I came onto here by sheer accident, and the way they are complaining about Robbie, and they're telling all the fans, please do not be delusional. Guys, you'll need to stop being delusional. I wish I could do my Nigerian accent because that's what the guy was it's like saying, you guys can't be this delusional. Stop it now. Stop it. We are Arsenal. We're not Real Madrid. Don't even consider yourselves even to be in the same league as Madrid because we're not. And then the fans are like, no, but we're better than them. We can beat them. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, it was so funny. It was absolute. Like Arsenal TV fans are just they're on another they're on another level altogether. Like they asked the one guy who was a bigger club, Madrid or Arsenal, and the guy's like
Yes,
Arsenal
it
blood,
was
Arsenal
Ty,
blood. Yeah,
Mr.
you know it.
Headphones.
Yeah, it was Ty. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you
Bron,
think to
thanks for your
yourself,
view, Bron. What's your view on the Mbappe and the Martinelli?
Mbappe won the World Cup at 18 years old, scored on a final. Next World Cup, scores a hat trick and loses the World Cup. Is that not world class? He's basically now in contention to be one of the top 10 greatest players of all time if he
100%.
continues on his trajectory.
100%. 100%.
Martinelli, what exactly has he won? What exactly has he won? Really?
Okay,
A
I get you.
haircut?
Ron, thanks for popping in. I appreciate your view as well. Thank you so far to
No
everyone that's
problems.
been interacting. We just hit 6.6K likes. Hopefully, we can have over 10K at the end of the podcast. We're going to be finishing off at 9 o'clock. Of course, that was a couple of topics, views from people that came through. I just thought I'm going to stay out of it and I'm going to ask the co to stay out of it because otherwise we hear that we are a bit unbiased, or biased. Sorry, that's the thing I was looking for. Rather let the public speak on that one. So, yeah, so I'll start off with the draw, the Europa League draw that's been happening today. I know that the
Who's
Champions
that?
League
Is
will
that
draw
Espanol? Who's that?
of where's this?
Who are you guys playing? I can't see the.
Oh, that will be Real Sociedad.
Okay.
Yeah, so the reason why I've done it the other way around, I know the draw was after the Champions League, but I think that we start off with the smaller one and then we move to the bigger one. They do it the other way around, we do it the proper way around. So, any thoughts? So in this competition, you got Roma there still. We also we got there. Let's have a look. I don't have my. Oh yeah, no, I do have it here that I can quickly run through it just to give you guys a better idea. But I'm sure you guys can see. Any thoughts around the draws in that?
I'm just trying to see. Who's that team that Leon's playing?
I'm just going to open it up on my side and this side on my big screen. Um, Episode 13 pictures. So,
Can I?
yeah, you can go. You can give your thoughts.
Look, sometimes you like a maybe a favorable draw, but to be the best, you need to beat the best. That's
Yeah,
my point. You in the Europa and the Champions League knockout stages. So to sit here and saying, I'm looking for an easier path, does that say championship material? I don't think so. So that's my take on it. Real Sociedad, it's a tough game, but those are the games that we as fans and as players want to play against. You want to compete or compare yourself against the
mm,
big dogs. You want to compare yourself against the great players
yeah.
and measure yourself up against them. So sometimes it's nice to have a favorable draw here and there, but to bitch and moan about it, sorry, it's for me as a sportsman. I don't really look too much in it. To be the best, you need to beat the best. That's my take on it.
100%. I fully agree with you. What did you say, Brendan? Who is who there on the picture? Who did you want to have there? Oh, wait, I can make it a little bit bigger also.
Who Leon's playing against, and then is that I'm just right.
Leon. Is that on the right or the left side? Let me just see.
Yeah, I think
Leon.
I think Scouser did answer it.
Oh,
Can't
did
even
he?
pronounce the team's name, to be honest.
Yeah, because I don't know all these badges as well. Lol. Hmm. Yeah.
But that's interesting. I mean, there is for Europa League. There's a lot of tough teams there. That's going to be tough.
Oh, that's
If you
FSB
guys,
over
if
there.
you
FCB is whatever it is there. Yeah. So I think it's going to be
if you
interesting.
guys make it all the way through there, I think you would meet probably Roma. Probably would be
Roma.
my guess.
Roma looks like the strong one on the same side of United. Roma, Olympiacos is also not a easy team as well. So we'll probably get them next. If we can overcome the Real Sociedad and Olympiacos, then we'll probably face Roma if things work out the way it should be working out. Bilbao is also a strong team as well. We'll get the people in the meantime. We've got Spurs on the other side. We've got
United Tottenham
Ajax.
final.
Oh, that will be a cracker, eh? That will be a cracker. Anyone else want to come give their view? Fenerbahce is also not a bad team as well, Mojo. Anyone else want to hop in into the 1 minute of countdown? You guys are more than welcome to hop in.
Speaking of Fenerbahce, did you guys see that video of Mourinho?
Of Mourinho, what about it?
He he was talking to Flapman. Who was he talking to? Mikel. He was talking to Mikel, and Mikel asked him if he prefers dogs or cats, and he was like, "I prefer dogs, but I don't have a problem with cats. I'm not Kurt Zuma."
Ah, Mourinho being Mourinho.
Mourinho, classic.
Rufus, the floor is yours, sir, and then we'll give Babes Cast an opportunity, and then we'll move on to another topic, perhaps.
You know what? I think this Real Sociedad is probably a blessing because throughout the season, United has shown up against the bigger teams. I mean, if we play the smaller teams, not that it is a small team as a European Cup. If we play the smaller teams, we tend to struggle. If we play stronger teams, we tend to show up.
Okay,
So I think that's draw with the Real Sociedad is actually going to be a blessing for United.
okay,
If we could
that's
get
fair.
past this, I mean, like I said it in the comment section, even if we had to draw FC Cape Town or Cape Town City, we would have been a tough match with the way United is playing at the moment.
Okay,
So, like I was saying again, playing the tougher team or the stronger team or the team with a identity or a name
mm,
is a blessing in disguise for United because they tend to show up against the bigger teams.
fair. That's fair, 100%. Okay, cool. That's actually some valid points, and United has been doing a little bit better. I mean, it's been proven against Arsenal, Liverpool. Spurs wasn't a great game, but I don't think there was players available for that game. So yeah, so we have been doing a bit better. So I think that's actually a valid point as well. But then we can never say what can happen on the day, you know. So 100% with that. Mr. Cape Scouser, any view, any opinion about the Europa draw?
Um, yeah, the for me the game that stands out there is obviously there's two games. It's the Roma and Athletic Bilbao game.
Don't see that
I
one.
feel like that one can go either way,
Yeah,
right? Athletic Bilbao has a good team.
yeah,
And obviously Roma also has a good team. Then the Sociedad United game. My only concern there with the Sociedad and United game is all the injuries United have picked up now recently
yeah.
can play a part in that game. And Sociedad play a very expensive type of football, man. So that's going to be a tie to look out for. I feel like whoever's going to win, whoever's playing, if United's playing at Old Trafford in the second leg, I feel like United's going to go through. But if I'm
Okay.
looking at this draw, my honest opinion here is if United goes through, I have a feeling they're going to get Fenerbahce in the semi-final. Because
Okay.
Mourinho is doing wonders with that Fenerbahce team at the
True.
moment. They top of the log in their country. He spent money. He's gotten some good players. I think Amrabat is playing there. Not Victor Osimhen. He's got another one of these big strikers playing there that he brought in. So they're also a team that's firing.
Okay. That's
Um,
fair.
and then on the other side, I don't think Spurs are going to do well. I'm looking at the Frankfurt and Ajax game. I
Okay.
think
That's
that is
going to be
going
a
to
good
be a
one.
big game.
That's
Yeah,
also
that's going to be a
decent.
big game. And the one team that nobody's taking note of that finished top of the league phase in the Europa League is Lazio. I think people need to take note of that Lazio team because they've done very, very well in Europe.
Mm. So are you saying that there's a possibility if United maintain the injuries and whatever, and they can overcome that obstacles, it could possibly be a Lazio and a United final? Because they are obviously a team that's not been talked
Yeah,
about.
if I
So
if
I'm
I look
just,
at
yeah, so I'm just
if I
going on
look at
what
the
you were saying
European
about them that end the top and no one talks about them. That's why I'm just like echoing what you were saying about the Indian. I'm not saying that, you know what, we going to get knocked out or we can't go all the way, but I'm just like going on the information. So if United can maintain those standards and they overcome that injury crisis and they make it all the way through, you're saying that from that side it could possibly be you favoring Lazio because no one is talking about it. That's what I'm basically asking.
look, Lazio has been if I go for the Europa League, Lazio has been the best team in the Europa League.
Okay.
So the European form has been really good. It's what got them to where they are. Obviously, it's got them to be a seeded team with an easier draw.
Okay.
But I do feel, yeah, if United can navigate the semi-final, because if I look at the teams in the other part, Iggy, none of those teams that United are going to play if they get to the semi-finals are realistically Europa League teams. All of those teams in the past 2 to 3 years have featured in the Champions League knockout phases.
True.
That's your
True.
Fenerbahce,
Yeah, Fenerbahce and those
your
guys. Yeah.
Roma, even your Rangers, with the
Yeah.
exception of a Bilbao. So it's not going to be easy, and that's where I agree with what Robin said. When you come to these competitions, you don't want the easy route. You want your
100%.
players to stay on edge. You want them to compete for that trophy so that when you, at the end of the day, when you win it, nobody can say you didn't deserve it.
Okay, 100% fully agree with you. Spouse, appreciate your thoughts around that. We're gonna cover the Champions League after this as well. Mr. Adil, final thoughts from you quickly, sir.
Yeah, quick one, guys. I think the elephant in the room we're not addressing. As a United supporter, this is do or die, guys. Any United supporter that's sitting on this live tonight, on the watching the podcast, sorry, our dream is to win this. You know what? And I believe the coach himself is sitting there in a dressing room and thinking, you know what? Everybody's talking about, yeah, win a relegation battle. But you know what? At the end of the day, is United wins Europa. It changes the whole dynamic. A team that came second or third or fourth in the Premier League, that fourth whole season, boom, we are also there. You
Mm,
understand my point? So
mm,
I think as a United supporter and for us, this is it. There's nothing else.
mm. 100%.
This is the
100%.
one.
100%.
So 100%, I believe what Robin said is 100%. Let's get the tough teams out of the way. If we can beat Real Sociedad, then it means we deserve to be there.
True.
If we go out, then we are just not good enough. So that's the
Yeah.
way I see it. So 100% agree there, Robin. We we
100%.
we meet them, we beat them, or we go out. Simple as that.
100%.
Thanks,
100%.
guys.
100%. Thanks for the audio. I see Uncle C wanted to hop in. Yeah, so Uncle C, you can still hop in. You want to quickly give a quick view on the Europa League before we move to the Champions League? I know you never have a chance to hop in really. Um, let's see if Uncle C wants to hop in quickly. So yeah, so we also got the Champions League, obviously a bigger one. Loads of talks around this draw. Any thoughts from the comments? You can hop in now shortly as well. Thank you, Cape Castle. We are 9K. Appreciate it over there, sir. Yeah, so Champions League. Most of these badges I definitely know. So on the Arsenal side, you got Liverpool, PSG. You got Braga, Aston Villa. You got the two Spanish giants. You got PSV, Arsenal. On the right side, you've got Benfica, Barca, Dortmund. What's the team? What's that fucking team's name? Um,
Where we now? Who's playing against
that's
Dortmund?
the Dortmund playing
Lille.
Lille. Sorry, I couldn't get to the now. Lille. The French team as well. Bayern and Leverkusen, and then we got Feyenoord, and we've got Inter Milan. So there's actually some
So
good
many
classes
interesting
over there.
games.
Very interesting games.
I'm excited about the Bayern and Leverkusen one. That's exciting.
Hmm
That's going to be intense. Don't sleep on Feyenoord. I'm telling you now, they can do an upset there against Milan.
And they got a new coach as well, Van
PSV,
Persie.
yeah. PSV. I mean, when we played them, I know it was like kind of like a nothing game for us, but PSV play some decent football. So against Arsenal, you never know, something could happen there. Of course, Madrid, the two Madrid teams. Yeah, there's a lot of good games. Benfica, Barca, that's going to be great. I think Aston Villa will beat Bruges, and I'd be quite scared to play Villa, to be honest. Like that's tough.
If we look at it, right, on this draw, what I've picked up, besides the one that Chris saying that, and I think probably everyone is probably going to agree that Barca looks like they've got an easier road because if they beat Benfica or they get Dortmund or whatever, then they can either just get like a Bayern and those guys. So this side, the right hand side where Barca is on and Bayern and that is not such a tricky class. But if you look at the left side, there is not an opportunity where English team can meet each other in the final. I would have loved to say there's an opportunity for English teams to meet each other in the final. I think there's an opportunity that it could be a Spanish final because Barca's on the right side, Madrid and Atletico's on the left side. Who else? Which countries as well? That is PSG is France. Um, who else? Let's just see. But I think it's mostly the Spanish that's probably have an opportunity to actually meet up with each other in a final.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts around
Yeah.
this? We got some people that would like to come in over there. Brandon, can you accept quickly?
Uh, they haven't come up on my side.
Okay, I've got him there. It's
Oh,
fine.
there we go. I see G-Force.
Okay, just accept the team. Spouses coming in as well. All right, we are G-Force thoughts around the Champions League.
Away, weet ek is lastig vanaand ouens.
Ek likes it, man. Ek
As
likes it. Ek
lonely
likes
in die
it.
hospitaal. Man.
How is in the hospital?
As lonely in die hospitaal.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, Isa, on my thoughts honestly on the right hand side, on my right hand side, I don't see any other team but Barcelona going through to the finals.
Okay.
Barcelona has been playing fantastic football. Yeah, they slip up now and again, but I don't see anyone stopping Barcelona. Bayern Munich hasn't been too fantastic. Um, yeah, and then on the other side, no disrespect to the likes of Arsenal, PSV, Atletico Madrid, whatever else. But I see a semi-final between Liverpool and Real Madrid.
I hope not.
Um, now there's definitely gonna. I honestly, I don't see anything else. Atletico Madrid is a possibility of them causing an upset, but I don't think we ever forget that Real Madrid, when it comes to the Champions League, they are just a different animal. I mean, they had a few seasons ago, they had one of the worst seasons in the league, but they managed to win the Champions League. So when it comes to the Champions League, I really see, I find it tough to believe that Atletico Madrid will beat him. And PSV, nah, I don't see PSV standing a chance. Hulle moet onthou ek haat vir Liverpool, but I don't see PSG standing a chance against Liverpool. Um, Liverpool might knock Aston Villa out. Um, Arsenal might pull one over PSV. Real Madrid is definitely going to beat them. So, like I said, I see a semi-final between Liverpool and Real Madrid, and on the one side, and Barcelona on the other side into the finals.
Okay, that's fair. Thank you, Jeepers, for your view. I'm just gonna give a quick touch on what Jeepers was saying. Then I'll give Capes Costa the mic. I think that it's all valid points, but I think the only thing I would probably add about the Real Madrid, because I think Liverpool have faced Real Madrid in the Champions League so far this season, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
and
at
they actually
Anfield, yeah.
got one over Real Madrid. But I think for me personally, with the Real Madrid statement is when they get to a certain time, a certain time in this competition, maybe like the quarters, the round of 16, wherever, where they get close to the trophy. I think that's probably like some kind of switch. They just switch on, like they just a different level. So I don't think a lot of teams really want to play Madrid this time of the competition. That's just my thoughts over there. Hey, Scouser, your thoughts, sir?
Um, so looking at the draw, Iggy, I picked up what you picked up also. For me, this draw is rigged in a sense of in the media before the draw happened, there was articles coming out about Real Madrid want to play Liverpool. There was articles coming out about a revenge game between Barcelona and Bayern Munich. And if you look at how this draw is set up, the path for Bayern is to meet Barcelona in the semi, and the path for Real Madrid is to meet Liverpool in the semi-final.
Okay,
But that's not writing off any of the other teams in the competition, right? I
okay,
feel like Liverpool PSG game, people are saying, oh, Liverpool's going to walk over PSG. I don't think so. I think that the job that Luis Enrique is doing at PSG, he's got that
Dembele
PSG
has been
team
on
playing
fire.
mm,
exactly. He's
mm,
got PSG playing really good football. They are not a one-man team anymore. They are
mm,
playing like a team with a lot of hungry youngsters.
mm,
They've gotten rid of a lot of old players that was on high wage bill. So watch out for PSG, and they've got a coach that has won this competition not once but twice
mm. Okay,
with
that's fair.
Barcelona before.
That's
Um,
fair.
I look at the game between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. Now, for me, that's a game that can go either way. Atletico Madrid will want to get one over Real Madrid in the Champions League because Madrid have beaten them in the final twice.
Okay,
So they're going to want to knock them out there. Arsenal PSV, I agree with what Brandon said. I feel like people should not sleep on that PSV team. On their day, they can be really, really dangerous.
mm-hmm.
Feyenoord Inter Milan, that's a tough one. I'm gonna give it to Inter Milan there, but also with Feyenoord on their day, they are more than. I mean, we saw it against AC Milan. On their day, they're more than able to beat anybody. Leverkusen and Bayern Munich. I don't know which way that one's gonna go. That's another derby.
Okay,
Um, Dortmund and Lille. Also, I don't know which way that's gonna go because Lille have had a really good Champions League.
okay,
They've beaten some big teams. I mean, they beat Real Madrid this year in the Champions League. So they have big names under their belt. I think
okay,
they beat Bayern Munich as well. I'm not too sure, but and obviously the Benfica Barca. I can't see anyone beating. I can't see Benfica beating Barcelona there.
okay. That's
So
fair.
that that's my thoughts on the tie. But interesting thing also, Iggy, what you need to take note of how many derbies have been drawn in in
Yeah,
this Champions League.
100%. You know, no,
That's
Scouts,
crazy.
no? I know there is people has been talking about reports that comes out, but for me personally, that's been watching football for a long time. I say that if they do a draw live, they do a draw live. For me, I don't see how that could be rigged. The only time I would agree that there could be where something was rigged, where maybe the bookies and people are involved with the officials with poor decisions like on the field that can cost a team a game in that. But for me, if I see it with the naked eye, it's the same thing like I say that we can watch the same game and we watch the same game, but you could be seeing something different what I see in that game. But we've been watching the same game because maybe your eye picked up something in the game and I maybe saw something different. Maybe I see something in the stands and you maybe saw something with the ball boy. You get what I'm saying? That is the only times I would say that, you know what, there could be that kind of. But if something has been drawn in front of me, unless you got a David Copperfield that's actually doing the draw, if that make any sense,
No, so
you know? So
so for
But
this
was
is my
today's
view.
my only
no
thing
just
is that I don't know if today worked the same because I didn't get to watch the draw. So if it was the same thing where they did where like Ronaldo standing there and he pushes a button and then it generates, that's where
Mm,
I'm like,
yeah,
that's a bit
mm,
the
weird because
pods.
that's not hands going into a thing and you pick up a ball. This is you push a button
yeah,
and you
that's what
can't
I'm
see
referring
how
to.
something gets generated.
Yeah,
That's where I'm like, that's a bit weird.
100%. That is what I'm
So
saying,
so
Brandon.
just to give you clarity on where I said it's rigged in a sense of TV rights and where betting can get involved in terms of opposition playing against a certain team.
True,
That is why I'm saying where I'm coming across is it's rigged because remember this draw before it took place, there was brackets. We knew before, Liverpool knew beforehand we're either going to get Brest, PSG, or Benfica because of where we
Yeah.
placed in the tournament.
true,
Barcelona knew where they're going to place in the tournament and who
true.
their potential opponents are. So that is why I'm saying, like Brandon says, if it comes to brackets and you're pushing a button, we can't see it, but there's obviously an algorithm that they've got running in the background.
100%. But you see, Cape, and I understand where you guys are coming from. And that is why I mentioned because I saw it with the hand when it was actually drawn. I understand about the brackets in that. But also, it was said early in the competition how the draw is going to take place. Getting to that top eight, and then these teams will be playing like a knockout, and then these teams a possibility to meet each other, and then the bracket was made up. But it was made up on where the teams ended in the competition, if that make any sense. So that's why I say the only time is like that, what Brandon was saying, when there's the buttons in that, like I mentioned, and obviously on the field. That's the only place I would say things are rigged. But I know that no one wants to face any team that's, great in the competition. That's just my things. Anyway, Scouser, thank you for hopping in. We're gonna cover some final topic after this. Adil and then Robin will give you an opportunity as well.
Thanks, guys, for the opportunity. First of all, Iggy, let me just reiterate: it can be rigged.
Okay.
I can take you back to the United States Powerball or Lotto Ball like a few years back. The
Mm,
balls was actually rigged. If you put your hand into the thing, the heavier balls was what we were supposed to. So anyway, don't want to get into the technical, but
okay.
yeah, it is like Scouser said, it is geared for towards TV rights. Right, the way they knew there was brackets, but there was a certain amount that I wanted it to happen. So my view is, Brendan, what I'm a bit concerned, not concerned actually, but worried. All the teams they were improving as they went along. I mean, look at Real Madrid. Where did we ever think that Real Madrid was in the bottom eight? You understand my point? Liverpool. My concern is actually just for Liverpool. I'm a bit worried because Liverpool's consistently they were on a high. Winning the games, top of the finishing top. My concern is they've reached their peak, right? These other teams are coming, and it's like we always say, it's a knockout. It's a knockout. Anything can happen on the day. But for me, if Liverpool meets Real Madrid, that's the real test, man. You beat
Okay.
him fair and square, and you move on. So for me, it's all about, irrespective of who you draw. Like Robin said earlier, doesn't matter what competition, Europa or Champions League. It doesn't matter who you draw because that means you beat the best of the best.
Okay.
So
100%.
on the day, the manager will prepare for the game. And my view is always, if you get Real Madrid, what a banger. Yeah, that's going to be a banger because it's not the same Real Madrid we saw 5 weeks ago.
Okay.
As the Real Madrid is on a trajectory and they're always going up, 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 up. They're designed for this competition. Does it eat for them? Thanks, guys.
No problem there. Robin, just before you go, I'm just going to I have a little bit of a different thought about it, just on what Adil was saying. So, for me, I'm going to say there could now be a possibility with the rigging because now, if you mention to me that the weight of the ball could play a part there, then I can say, okay, hold on, there's a possibility. So even if it's with the eye, that's why I mentioned the David Copperfield earlier. Maybe it's a magician because magician can pull these kind of off in front of your eyes. But if it's something like that, then absolutely yes. I am that guy to own up and say, you know what? That actually does make sense to me. If something doesn't make sense to me, I would say, nah, it doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, so you guys do have a valid point there. I'm gonna agree with you guys. You guys do have a valid point, but I don't have the facts with that one. So yeah, so I'm man enough to own up. Yes, Robin, any final thoughts on that one?
Yeah, this is my take on it. We cannot say that we're looking at you play the best to be the best, and then we talk about rigging about a heavy ball or whatever. At the end of the day, you play who's in front of you,
Okay.
regardless who they draw, whether it's rigged, whether it's not rigged. You need to play who's in front of you. Whether you get Madrid in the quarters, semis, or finals, if Madrid is going to be there, you'll have to meet them somewhere. I would worry if it was match fixing in a situation where it's a team against a team and someone is deliberately throwing the game,
Mm,
or the referee is deliberately blowing against the team. Then I would say, you know what? Nah, that's uncalled for. But when it comes to the drawing of things, to be the best, you must beat the best, regardless how you draw it. That's
mm,
my take on it.
yeah.
Fuck it. I don't care.
No, Luke Scouser, I do understand, and I do get what you were saying about bigger games, bigger money, bigger, more TV rights. I understand all of those things. That I do understand, 100%. I did get that part. But I just want to get my view on the rigging part, whatever. That is what I was saying. 100%. Anyway, so that is we've covered the Champions League, we've covered the Europa League, we've covered some delusional conversations. But we also got this coming up, two big clashes, and I'm sure I'll probably get a lot of thoughts around this.
Yeah, flipper. We haven't won there in 10 years in the league. 10 freaking years.
There we go. I knew I was gonna get people hopping on this one. Even Chris is hopping on this one. You guys can hop in the meantime. I've got 2, 4, 6 spots available. Come and do your audition for idols.
Evening, guys.
Evening, sir. The floor is yours, sir.
Evening, brother.
Okay, so firstly, I want to start on the Arsenal West Ham one. The people have been saying at the moment Liverpool is 8 points clear. The people have been saying it's 5 points. Let's not make that mistake that a lot of the Liverpool supporters made, where they said they were going to go 10 points clear and 9 points clear.
Mm,
There's a game in hand, yes, but you need to win your game in hand. That's still 8 points
spot
clear.
on.
Until you get that 3 points, it's going to be 8 points. They could draw. West Ham could shock them. I mean, West Ham is not safe yet. They're not in the safe woods yet.
Yeah,
They are still in trouble. They still need to win their game. So,
spot on.
and both teams is from London, so it's a derby.
Mm,
Anything is possible.
mm,
And then also for the game of the weekend, Liverpool and Man City. I think, in my opinion, I think Liverpool is going to take this one. I
okay.
just think they need it more than what City needed. I think City don't need to win this game. I think City will be fine with top four.
Mm,
Liverpool, on the other hand, they have to win this game. If they
100%.
drop points here, it's gonna get very, very tight, and it could become problems for Liverpool. So I think Liverpool is gonna win this game.
Okay, fair. Okay, that's fair.
Giving me heart palpitations, bro.
You can stay so long, Chris. Cape Scouts can also stay after his view because no one else wants to come in because we are at the end of the show. So if there's no one else, you guys can stay in the boxes. Absolutely, yes. Yes, Cape Scouts, talk to us, sir. Feelings around these games? The two big ones?
Hey, look here. So for people saying that Liverpool are gonna edge it against City, um, I have faith in my team. I always back my team.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something that happened in midweek. Manchester City got battered and humiliated by Real Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
That team is going to be a wounded City is not a team you want to play
Mm-hmm.
because they're gonna come out and they're going to want to prove a point, right?
Yebo.
I don't want Liverpool to obviously win, and I don't think people are realizing, Iggy, that this is not a 3-pointer game. This is a 6-pointer
Mm.
because City win this game. People saying City don't really lead the result, but if City win this game, they close the gap.
Mm.
They go within 9 points of Liverpool, if I'm not mistaken, and they
I
go
can give you
within.
that right now. Currently, they're on
So,
Bro,
44 and Liverpool is on 61. So 44, let's just get
they
a
11
calculator.
points, 12
So
points.
61 minus 44, so that's 17. Um, so that's going to give them a 14 point behind you guys. But they would have played one game less than you guys.
Exactly. So it puts them in a better position as well, right? In terms of going into the home stretch, and then so I see that game going either way, to be honest.
Okay,
Because Brandon mentioned something that hasn't been a happy hunting ground for Liverpool,
okay.
right? Um, Secondly, with regards to what Christopher said with Arsenal, guys, and this is what I echoed. Don't make the mistake of thinking you've won the game before the game is being
Mm,
played.
spot on.
Arsenal are going to be playing 4 London derbies.
Mm,
4 London derbies. And we've seen Arsenal in London derbies. They don't come out with wins as often as they should. So, I mean, I'm not saying that the league is okay. I'm gonna say it. The league is Liverpool's to lose,
mm-hmm,
and it's Arsenal's to come and win.
mm-hmm,
But in the sense of saying that you've already got the points, don't make that mistake of saying that because we all know it.
mm-hmm.
Anything can happen in a derby. West Ham
100%.
beat Arsenal last season. Fulham have beaten Arsenal. Chelsea can beat Arsenal on their day. Chelsea can beat anybody on their day. So, I mean, Team Delulu needs to just relax, if I can say that.
Okay.
But
bro,
I,
we need to target that. We need to target that youngster if he's playing. That new boy at City, if he's playing at the
Mamouche.
back on Sunday.
Oh, you mean
No, the defender,
the defender that they signed? What's his name?
because he looks like he is trying. He doesn't know. Look like he knows where his head is at the moment. He looks like he's trying too hard. Like, oh, we need to target him if he's playing.
Mm.
Yeah, it looks that Pep is gonna set up. Pep is probably gonna set up to contain Mo Salah. That is what he's going to do because Salah is our X factor at the moment.
Mm.
But I do feel like the City Liverpool game is gonna be a midfield battle. I can almost
As
feel it.
so I've got a stat here. I can't pull up any numbers because if I pull up numbers on the live, they're going to restrict me and then they're gonna cut it. So in 2022, Arsenal won them. 2023, they draw. I'm just looking what I've got here in front. I'm not gonna look so far. Then again in 2023 they met. West Ham won them 3-1. Then again they met again in 2023. West Ham won them 2-0. 2024 Arsenal knocked them 6-0. And then again in 2024, Arsenal knocked them 5-2. So if I look at this stat here, the last five, Arsenal, let me just see here. Arsenal with one, two, three. Um, and West Ham with one draw against them and a win over here. So yeah, so look, this stat doesn't even show me fucking. Okay, I'm not gonna look for it. But yeah, I get what you're saying that this stats over here, it's not always, a true reflection on where the teams are at. Brandon,
Look, it's
any
London.
yeah,
Hmm.
any thoughts from you?
Yeah. Besides that, we need to target that new young defender. Like I said, and like Cap also said, it hasn't been a happy hunting ground for us. I'm really nervous. I do feel like City's going to turn up for this one. Like
Mm-hmm.
Scouse also said, they're a wounded animal at the moment.
Yeah.
And both teams kind of have similar problems at the moment. We both score goals, but we're leaking goals at the moment. I don't know what's happened to us. First half of the season, we were defending so well, and second
Mm-hmm.
half of the season hasn't really been the same. And I really thought when Konate came back that we were gonna be solid once again, but we're still leaking goals, and it's really silly goals. And maybe
Mm.
that's a good thing because that's easy to rectify, but it's really simple mistakes that have been happening at the back.
Yeah.
Guaranteed we're going to score. If we keep a clean sheet on Sunday, I think we win because we will score. We don't not score. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. It could be a high scoring one because, like I said, both teams have similar problems at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Robin, thoughts from you as a neutral?
I think Arsenal going to win. I just think they're reaching a level where they playing some decent football at the moment. With Liverpool and City, wait, sorry to put the camera on. With Liverpool and City, City's a wounded animal, so that is gonna count maybe for City at their home. Pep has been there, done that. I think it's gonna come down to not so much as how good Liverpool play, but can they handle that pressure? Can the manager handle that pressure? That it's a different type of pressure now, this home stretch.
Mm.
And if you look in the last few interviews that Slot has done, normally he was very charismatic and fun, and I think he's starting to feel it now. And normally that will rub off onto players as well.
Mm. Okay.
Not always, not always. I don't want people to say I'm trying to be now being nasty and all this funny things. I'm speaking from a place of where I've seen these things happen before, where you as a player, if you start seeing your manager start feeling pressure, it will transfer that pressure onto you.
Okay.
And I mean, you saw that result how Nunes walked off the field, not because, yes, he felt bad, but because he knows that that was 2 points he dropped. How does that play on him? The
Mm.
whole was a Jota also must. It works on them. I think it's become now down to the mentality part of it, the psychology part of it, and I think that's where City will pop it because it's a been there, done that thing for Pep.
Okay.
That's my
That's
take.
okay. Were you referring, Brandon, to the defender of City? Where is he now?
The
Rico
new one.
Lewis.
Now the new
No,
one.
no, no. The one they just bought in the January window.
Oh, that youngster. I can't get to his name now.
Name starts with a K. Name
Ri-
starts with a K.
where the? I'm trying to see now. It's not Max. What is fucking like his name?
Kusanov. There.
Who?
Kusanov. Kusanov.
Oh, Kasanov. Oh, okay, that youngster. Oh yeah, Abdul Kadir Kusanov. Yeah, okay, cool. From Ubastaki. What is it? Uzbekistan.
Uzbek,
Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan.
Pakistan.
Uzbekistan.
Thank you, there, sir. Thank you. That's why I like having you guys, to help me out, with the broken stuff, So I appreciate. Look, I think it is going to be two good clashes. This is my view. I think Arsenal should not go in overconfident because they don't have the firepower up front. Um, yes, Moreno has been giving them a bit of a lifeline. But obviously West Ham is not a walk in the park, and also with Graham Potter as well coming in there, he's obviously got a point to prove. Because he has been out of work for a while, so he doesn't want to go back into that firing line. And West Ham doesn't have a bad side. I think with the City one, I think it's going to be a clash between the two Egyptians. Who's going to want to replicate what, in Salah's case, what he's been doing for the season, and in Marmous's case, what he's done in his previous game. Obviously, he wants to carry that same momentum. So I think it's going to be very interesting. But I've got a feeling that the City and the Liverpool might go into a draw. I think even the Arsenal one, I think that my feelings around that one's also going to be a draw as well, because both teams that's running for the league, fighting to actually win the league, is both expecting 3 points, and I think both that teams are going to look to make an upset. That's just what I'm thinking, in my opinion. Any other thoughts from the guys in the comment section? Any final thoughts from panel before we say have a good night and go enjoy whatever game is on tonight, which is Leicester, I believe.
Brandon said something earlier that I wanted to comment on. He said
Sure.
Liverpool he doesn't know what's happened to our defense and why we're leaking goals. So I've been also thinking about it and I've been watching our games and so forth. Where we started leaking goals was the immediate change in the back line, which was the immediate taking away of Keller, who played majority of the beginning of the season with the defense, and you're throwing in Allison immediately when he comes back. He's maybe 75%, not 100%. So, in essence, what I'm saying is when Keller was in the defense and he had Konate and he had Virgil, you had Virgil van Dijk calling the shots in the defense. You had Virgil van Dijk's being the voice of instruction to players, right? So now you have a player like Allison coming back, who's a goalkeeper, he's a leader on his own. There's two voices now shouting at Konate. There's
Okay.
two voices shouting instructions at the Trent. There's two voices shouting instructions at the at Tsimikas, because Tsimikas has played more games in Robo in our
Okay.
back line. So it's a different case. In the beginning of the season when we weren't shipping goals, we had Virgil with that responsibility. Now the responsibility is shared. Who do the
Okay.
players listen to? It's a different type of rhythm.
Okay.
And that is why I say um, I'm seeing what I'm seeing, because remember your backline. I mean, it was Jose Mourinho that said you don't change a winning backline. Your
Okay.
backline will win you the league, right? So Alex Ferguson also never changed his backline when he had his Vidic and his Ferdinand, his Gary Neville, and even if it was, I think your right back was Rafael, if I'm not mistaken, but he never changed his backline because and his goalkeeper, because that's what won you titles.
Okay.
Um, so my thing is that Liverpool started shipping goals when Allison came back, right? And you can actually see it from the way we defend crosses, set pieces. Keller was a goalkeeper that used to come out and he'll punch that cross away. You'll parry that cross, or you'll catch. I'll say you'll actually catch the cross. Sorry,
Okay.
Allison doesn't
But I
catch.
think talking about catching though, I think it was just such unfortunate timing that Kelleher made that one mistake,
Yeah, true.
just as Allison came back against Newcastle at the end where he didn't catch,
That's true.
and then
That's true.
Allison came back immediately the next game. If he didn't make that mistake, I wonder if Allison the next game. I
So
Mm.
think that was unfortunate for Kelleher.
Okay.
the thing is, what I'm getting at, Brad, is what we need to, what us as Liverpool fans need to just watch the game a little bit more in detail, because, like I say, when Keller was on the beginning of the season, he's catching the crosses. So the defenders and the midfielders don't need to worry about the second ball. Now that we have Allison in, Allison chooses to punch the ball away, right? So he can reset. Those players are not running for the second ball, and that's how we're conceding goals. Because they're still in that repetition or still in that mind frame of a killer that's catching the ball. Immediately we run out and we play the counter attack team. So it's small things like that, man,
So that chemistry is
that
basically
is resulting in us now.
so that chemistry is not the same like it was with the Keller. That's basically to put it into a nutshell. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at.
That's
That's
fair.
what I'm getting at. Because if you go back, look at it. The guys that like to draw stats, go back, look at it. You'll see that 10 games that Keller started, or 14 games Keller started, we conceded what 2 to 3 goals in the league. When
100%.
Allison came back, that's when we started conceding sloppy goals.
Okay.
And it comes down to, like I say, the different type of goalkeeper. With
Okay.
Keller, he's not a goalkeeper that's going to get the ball and play it out immediately for a counter attack. With Allison, he will get the ball, and his distribution is to put the ball up. So what that tells the players is, when that cross comes in, my keeper's going to get the ball. I need to run out of the box. They forget about defending that second ball, and
Okay.
that's why we're
That's
conceding stupid goals.
that's fair. Anyway, any final thoughts before we end of the show tonight? No final thoughts? Okay, cool. So I want to say a massive thank you to everyone. We just hit 12K likes. We're improving week by week. Thank you to everyone that came in to actually interact with everyone. Thank you to my co-host. Thank you to Chris, Cape Scouts, G-Force, Ardil, Bron. If I've missed anyone, I apologize. And then I'm going to end of the show just to touch on what Cape Scouts was saying. Liverpool fans, you heard it first from your own Liverpudlian. A problem that you guys might have for you guys losing the league, it's because you guys are bringing in a shitter goalkeeper, which is obviously Allison. You should have kept Callum. And then, of course, Robin, don't
Uh,
laugh. You have been instructed by Cape Scouser. He knows you as the stat man. Can you please go pull that stat for us as well, please? That will be your one for the next podcast, sir. Anyway, guys, I'm just joking, guys. It was a pleasure having all of you guys here. I want to say thank you so much. No, I didn't twist your words. I was just like, anyway, much love to everyone. Have a fantastic evening. Enjoy the football. And good luck to
Thanks,
everyone
everybody.
tomorrow and Sunday, man. Have a blessed one. We